Let us see how our HTML file looks currently. I see two lists that we have created are using too much of space. I can place one list on left and other list on right and save a lot of space. We can achieve that by giving a nice looking layout to our page. One can create layout using tables or by using divisions. Divisions are more popular way of creating layout. In this lesson, we will learn to create div. Div tag helps you in multiple ways. It helps you create division, that is, creating a section within your HTML document. It helps you group multiple elements and then use CSS to style them. Web developers often use div tag to create layout for the web pages. Currently, our code has become bit too long and not the ideal place to learn new things. For all the new things that we will learn, we will use a test file and then apply the concepts that we learn on our index.html file. Let me create a test.html file. We will learn about divs in this test.html file. Please note that I have linked style.css to text.html file so that we can use the same styling in both the HTML files. I have removed all the unnecessary content of the default file. Let me write some text in my file and put it in div tag. When you check the output of this file, you will see something like this. At the moment, it tells you nothing. Let me add border to div so that you can see what exactly browser does when you add div. Since I have linked style sheet to text.html, I will define div styling in the style.css. Let me create a div selector to define border properties. As you see, I have added a solid black border of 1 pixel thickness. Let me save the file and see how it changes the output. You would see that by adding content in the div tag, we have instructed browser to create a div section for the content, and this division has occupied entire width of the page. In short, div created a box to add the content. Let me add second div and see what happens. The content in this div is div 2. You would see that browser has added yet another box. Also note that there is no space between these boxes. We can add some space by adding margin to div. Once again, we will go back to our CSS file and add margin to div selector. We have added margin top as 5 pixel. I will also put padding of 20 pixel. You would see that the two div sections that we have created are now separated by margin that we defined. Just the way we have added the margin, we could add other styling elements as well, such as padding, height, width, etc. In this lesson, we learned to create div. If you recall, we started learning divs because we wanted to have two of our lists next to each other. We would add these lists in two separate divisions and align them next to each other. Let us learn more about divs so that we can get to our desired outcome. In the previous lesson, we created two divs. How do we get these divs to align next to each other? HTML allows you to use float property to define on which side your element should float. Let me go to CSS and make the division float to left and see what happens. I will do so by adding following line in div selector. You would see that both the divs used are floating to left. Let us see what happens when you float divs to right. We go back to our CSS and change value of float property to right. We can see in the outcome that both divs are floating to right now. Our desired result is to get one element to float to right and other element to float left. We can achieve this by giving identity to each of these division and then defining float property for them. I want the div with this is div 1 content to float on left and the other division to float on right. The purpose of ID attribute is to give identity to div. Let me set ID attribute as left for my division 1 and ID attribute as right for second division. The ID attribute uniquely identifies the element when scripting or styling with CSS. Since ID is used to uniquely identify elements, same ID must not be assigned to multiple elements. We will now go back to our CSS file and write ID selector for each div to set their float property. This is how we will do it. Let me see how text.html file now looks. You would see that division with ID left is floating to left and the one with the ID right is floating to right, as we defined in the ID selectors. I can simply add these two divisions to my index.html file and get the result. You would see that I have added div with ID left to ordered list and div with ID right to unordered list. Let us go and check outcome. You would see that we have achieved our desired result. I do not need this 1 pixel border or padding to these divisions. I define this styling for div selector. I will simply go to ID selector and assign padding as 0 and border as none. This is how your page will look now. In this lesson, you have learned different methods of applying style on an HTML element. In earlier chapters, we used HTML selector to style elements. You can use ID to style any element in your HTML file, just the way you did it for div elements in this lesson. In general, you should use ID only once. In the helper text, we have mentioned why you should use ID once. So what if there are number of divs in your HTML file and you want to apply same style on multiple divs? In this lesson, we will learn to use different styling on multiple div elements. Let us go back to our test.html page. I would like to add 4 divs in this test page. We will replace the existing content. You will see that we have added 4 divisions. We are adding unique text in each division. This will help us identify divs we have created. Remember, we have linked this file with style sheet, but because we are not using ID to any of these divs, the ID selector styling that we defined in previous lesson will not be applicable on any of these divs. Only the styling defined in div selector will be applicable on these divs. Let us try to float div1 and div3 to left and div2 and div4 to right. Since we should not use ID selector, we will use a new method in this lesson. We will use the class selector to apply styling. We will define two classes, left and right, and make them float to left and right respectively in style sheet. Let us first remove the ID selectors that we have defined earlier. We will define two class selectors like this. You would note that we use full stop followed by name of the class selector to initiate a class selector. To apply float properties that we defined for left and right class selector, let us go back to test.html page. We will define class for divs we would like to apply this styling on. Within the div tag, you mention the word class followed by equal to sign and then assign class within double quotes. Let us now see output of the test.html code. You will see that div1 and div3 are floating left and div2 and div4 are floating right. Note that div2 is on right of div4. Since div2 was assigned float right first, therefore it will have rightmost position. We learnt how to use class attribute to assign styling to div elements. You could use similar method to apply styling to any element. Also, for our index.html file of our first project, we used ID attribute to style left and right float for the divs. Now that we know that using class is a better way of defining style, let us go back to index.html page. We will change div ID attribute to class attribute. We have already made necessary changes in the style sheet. If you see the output, you would observe that we achieved exact same styling using class attribute. We will learn more about divs in next lesson.